everybody, welcome to another episode of the Super Cool Nerd Show. I am Kat, I'm the rock that holds this show together.
If you've ever wondered why you can't play three-way rock, paper, scissors, it is because you will get a three-way tie.
Yeah,
Whoopsie.
Rock, paper, scissors.
No rock.
No, I had rock. You had paper.
Oh, I did paper, yeah.
An attempt was made,
Yeah.
and I tell you,
It went real bad. Real bad, real quick. Real bad, real quick, real bad.
And of course, we did this hilarious contest days ago because we know who's going to be heading off the show way before the show starts.
Oh, of course.
Planned
That's how
everything
we
in
prep.
immaculate detail.
Uh-huh. And I don't do this show by myself, or sometimes at all, on my right.
Hi, I'm Cora.
Cora!
You don't do it by yourself on your right? I'm Cass, hi.
I'm going to
That's
remember
real bad.
that this
Real
time.
bad.
Your
Kat will
name.
remember that.
Just that your name is
Kat's
Cass.
opinion of you has changed.
I always throw to you because I can't remember your name to save my life. And behind the boards make everything look as good as it does.
this thing is just gone off the rails. We're not even, 5 minutes in here.
I'm really sad that we didn't get the rock, paper,
It was
scissors
off.
on
It was
footage.
off the rails before the cameras were rolling on
bad.
y'all with the failed rock paper scissors. I'm surprised y'all got your composure before the cameras came on. Congratulations.
That was composure.
I didn't.
Nope.
They count on me
Don't get too,
because I'm a stoic.
Yeah.
Don't get too attached to that deal. Just saying,
She's so cute.
you and your sticky fingers.
I did steal. I've stolen a couple.
I mean, now you just sound like Blizzard about all of Overwatch. Like, don't get too comfortable hanging on to this, because anything you love about it might
We
just
will take
disappear
away.
forever.
Yeah.
You might make some premonitions about some stories I got, but go
Yeah.
right ahead.
Gonna make some promises. Oh, don't worry. Different promises. Oh, I couldn't do that one either. Sorry, guys.
That's just Blizzard. Da 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 da.
We're going to keep our promises if you pay enough. Just kidding, we're not keeping them. Anyway, we're going to get to all that and more in some super cool nerd news.
Alright, let's just go ahead and get this over and done with. They have finally released a trailer and a date for the live-action One Piece, coming to you on Netflix. It will be released October 31st. They are going to be going through the what they've called the East Blue Arc, and then broaden from there. I had to pull out the latent One Piece nerd within me to point out that this is not an arc. The East Blue was an entire saga, which saw the addition of all of the crew except for, up to, I think, Usopp and Sanji. So that Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and of course, Luffy, our main cast. But how it's probably going to go is each episode is going to, introduce the character to join the crew, and then they'll have 2 episodes to kind of play with, because we are getting 8 episodes with 6 arcs confirmed. The 6 arcs are going to probably be each an episode, is what I mean. I think it looks not bad. It's about what I expected. One Piece is a weird animal to live action.
Yeah.
One Piece is a weird animal anyways.
Yeah, One Piece is just a weird animal in general, but now we've got a live action for it. Seeing Luffy's gum arm in the trailer is literally what I was expecting and kind of hoping for, because it kind of looks cheesy, but it's still fun. It still fits in the universe and everything they've created. Buggy looks fantastic. He's my favorite villain in One Piece. He's the clown.
Mm.
His power is that he can separate his body parts from his body, which sounds gross. But in the manga and in the show, it's very cartoony. But now that I've said it out loud, I am afraid of how it's going to be in the show, in this live action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
after the tragedy that was Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, and just not tragedy because I loved that show. I don't care. Honestly, I'm blocking out the haters. I just have a strange disturbance with this show coming out.
And, like, I'm just gonna let you know right now, the fandom of One Piece will love this, whether it's good or if it's bad. They just basically shoot One Piece into their veins like heroin.
I can't get into One Piece because it's too much. The road is too long. I will not... One Piece is going to outlive me, okay?
I mean, at this point.
So...
Yes. No, absolutely. Yes. One Piece will outlive us all in one way or another. At the death of the universe, there's still going to be a One Piece about to come out next week.
I promise. We swear this is the ender for the entire series.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this because I have watched some One Piece. I like the show.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like the characters. I mean, there's already a lot of hate for this, but I don't care.
There's almost always been, and I think that partly it's earned because we have gotten really, really bad live adaptions of specifically animes. Death Note, most people didn't like that live action. Obviously, the one of which we do not speak, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and a lot of it is because they try to condense a lot of stuff into a movie, which is, you just can't do that. So there's more hope for this, but I do think it's an earned.
Yeah.
We're incredulous, and it's very earned.
Yeah, and the thing that gives me a little bit of hope about it is Oda has been working hand in hand with the writer, and was adamant that this would not be released until it was something that he was okay with.
Yeah.
So any changes or anything like that, it's Oda approved. So there's that, but also the aversion to live action anime anything is usually because it's Hollywood. Because the Japanese live actions for anime,
that's fair,
incredible. The Full Metal Alchemist movies visually are just beautiful. They look good. They have good actors. They could use some help on wigs, but can't we all? But that's a good shining example of something good. They also have a Japanese that's a live action Death Note. Or a Japanese live-action Death Note that was also really good. Yeah. Watch that one instead if you want to see it live action.
Yeah. The best I think Hollywood has ever come out with in regards to anime is movies very, very heavily inspired by anime. Like Pacific Rim is a mecha.
It was his love letter to Godzilla and Evangelion.
Yeah.
And me. Because I was definitely in love with that
totally.
Oh, yeah, we should watch that. We could probably understand it
Probably
better.
now that we've seen Evangelion, yeah.
When are we getting One Piece? What's the...
August 31st.
Okay, cool.
This year.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's sooner than I thought
That's
it would be.
a bold move to put out. Then.
They'd been saying it would be released in 2023 for a while, so...
Sure, but video game companies don't pay any attention to those kind of deadlines. Why should anime?
That's true. Oda is a man of his word. I'll give him that. It may be a very lengthy word, but...
His words might be crazy talk, but he will remain true to them.
Exactly.
That's really where I want things. Well, I don't have any anime. Do you have any anime, Jason?
No.
Then I don't want to hear from you. Cass, do you have something weird?
I do have something completely random. If I'm going to be completely honest, this is because I had a story that I all of a sudden realized that deep in my heart I just didn't care about. So this is going to be a weird pitch for you to watch something. Griffin McElroy at this point is in the middle of his second season of something that he calls Trial by Fiery, which is Zelda games. He started with A Link to the Past, now he's doing Ocarina of Time. Randomizer, one-hit kill. He did A Link to the Past. It was absolutely amazing. And now he's on Ocarina of Time. It is a shit show, start to finish. But it's Griffin, so he takes everything in stride. It's
Except
extremely...
when he doesn't,
Except
I
when he
assume.
doesn't, which is amazing. I have a screenshot of somewhere of him just screaming into the mic because he thought he was about to die.
What is this, Trial by Fieri?
Trial by Fieri.
Okay.
The second season is called Jalapeno and Lime, and it's Ocarina of Time, Jalapeno and Lime. I need other people to watch this because it's absolutely insane and it's so much fun to watch.
You've sold me. Those are my two favorite Zelda. Those are two of my favorite Zelda games.
Exactly.
So, like...
The first one's about, I don't know, 12, 13 episodes, and they're all about like an hour and a half, and it's just, I don't watch a lot of streaming. This is extremely entertaining.
I'm just like, this is just Griffin being like, what if Dark Souls, but looked like...
Yeah, basically.
Zelda.
And Griffin famously loves the Dark Souls games, and so yeah, I think he wanted something. He's talking about doing Super Metroid, although maybe not one hit kill.
You know what? I could still see him trying it, and
I
like,
can
you know
see him
what?
trying that. I feel like he's smart enough to know that is unlikely to be great, like,
Yeah.
content because it looks the same through so much of it.
Yeah, I will say last episode is pretty rough. He was doing the Spirit Temple, and there's a skeleton that he just was banging his head against for 45 minutes. Anyway, that's just my weird little pitch for this really strange YouTube show.
What other anime do we have or video games?
I have a gigantic catalog of video games, so do not come back to me
I got
yet.
some video game news.
Go for it, Jason.
Well, let's see. Hang on, let me find my camera here. Currently, I own every single major gaming system out there right now. I got the PlayStation, I've got a Switch, and I have Xbox. And unfortunately, Xbox is the loser, coming in at number 3. Why, Jason, would you make such a statement? Why would you dog out Xbox like that and call them the bottom of the barrel because they said it? Xbox has come out after their $69 billion acquisition of Blizzard. They said, we have lost the console wars. I am not making this up. So, they described starting out in 2001, and they were quickly outsold by Sony.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo came and just lapped them twice. And they said, since 2001, we lost the console wars. That is a bold statement to make on behalf. I have pictures and stuff. I get to talking, but honestly, this is an admission. This is an admission of defeat. And if I look at the 3 consoles I have and who gets played the most, I'm sorry, buddy. You turn on sometimes, and I wonder what happened there. They have been consistently ranked number 3 in 2021. Their last market share was only 16% of the video game industry, to give an indication of how far Xbox and Microsoft have fallen. Now, they're saying that it's possibly maybe closer to 21%, but still, that puts you in 3rd place. Now, why am I saying all this? Do I want a video game company to fail? Do I want Xbox to fail? Absolutely not. I've loved Xbox games for quite some time. However, when it came time to get a next-gen console, I made the decision I want a PlayStation 5, and Xboxes were actually prevalent. You could go get a new Xbox One on the shelf. They were there when the world started healing, and they're still there now. So, this all came about, of course, with this merger, which is being challenged by the FTC right now with their acquisition of Blizzard.
As it should be.
But there's other parts of me that go, are they playing up that we're at the bottom so that this acquisition can go through? While they're actually admitting it, they have the numbers to back it up. It's kind of sad when, like, here are the facts and figures of why I have lost this battle. I don't want to see Xbox fail, but I also need a reason to applaud your success or support your success. And quite frankly, over the years, the last thing I played was the last Halo game because it was an exclusive, and I currently have Game Pass. I pay for Game Pass. Don't use it a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. this is strange to me. I'm switched to the main cam. I mean, y'all play Xbox.
Do you want to say it or do I?
Ooh, go.
Do you want to say it, Kat, or do you want me to say it?
I don't play Xbox.
Do you want to say it?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. We told you so.
We've been screaming about Sony being better platform for forever. And as an ex-IT professional who is an Apple girl at heart who got sucked into working tech support for Microsoft, cannot stand Microsoft. Can't do it. And so, like, I don't want Xbox to fail, but I've always been a little like, look how stupid you guys are.
I'm seeing agreement.
I have never owned an Xbox console in my entire life. I have never held an Xbox controller. I have never played on an Xbox. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I played on it one time when I visited a friend of mine to play Minecraft.
And it worked?
It worked.
Oh, well,
The whole time.
The whole time. And, yeah, that was the only time I held an Xbox controller.
I didn't quite catch, like, y'all have been losing for that long? Because I played a lot of Xbox. Like, when the Xbox One came out, I was one of the first people to jump on that. And honestly, I hadn't even really noticed that I was drifting further and further away. The relationship was souring.
Think about, like, exclusives, though. Mm-hmm. Like, how many Xbox exclusives are you like,
Halo.
I need to play this.
Halo was it.
And that's it. Bloodborne?
I mean,
Wasn't The Last of Us?
No.
What am I thinking of?
That was like the first
That's
thing
what I'm saying is Bloodborne is a PlayStation exclusive. I think The Last of Us originally was a PlayStation exclusive. Like, there's...
Yes, it was.
Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go on.
exclusives.
Most RPGs are PlayStation.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Well, like with Final Fantasy, they're PlayStation exclusives for a whole year, and then they let Xbox have it.
And then Nintendo, with their massive library of games and their portable system, just
curb stomped.
Yeah.
And where y'all at?
Exactly.
I've been going pretty hard at Microsoft since they named their virtual assistant Cortana, because I have always found that deeply funny, because Cortana was famously outdated in the games. And unstable as
an IT guy, I have denied Cortana on so many machines.
It's right.
Like,
so,
I almost feel like the physical embodiment of Cortana is going to show up one day just to kill me.
If you're watching this, do yourself a favor. It is hard to find, but there is an original announcement video for Cortana that is the creepiest thing that I've
video.
ever seen.
Yeah.
It is hard to find.
Now, one thing that I liked, I think, when they had their moment, was when they came out with the Kinect system.
Yeah.
Kinects were fun. They were party games, which is something that Nintendo excels at. Fun multiplayer games like that. But then they stopped supporting stuff like that.
Also, they're the thing that Nintendo excels at. Like, you're trying to do what other people... Because I think before we got the Kinect, we got the Wii U, which wasn't as good. But, like, it was
definitely
one of the first of its kind.
But see, even then... It was the first of its kind, but also the only game I got to play for that was they remastered Wind Waker for it.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect console for it, because you had a map on the Wii U pad and sailing on the main screen, so you had the dual screen.
Yep.
Without having to have a DS.
Yeah. Also, and this is so minuscule. This is so tiny. PlayStation controllers are better.
Yeah.
True.
And they always have been.
It is not that minuscule.
No, that's fair.
Like, it's kind of a big thing. And, like...
There's so little differences between them, I guess, but those differences matter.
But big picture, this whole thing, they are still in court over this acquisition, $69 billion for this whole Blizzard thing. This is basically, if this injunction passes that they were trying to argue against, they are, basically the deal's halted until August 2nd. Until an evidentiary hearing. Yeah. They were set to close this on July 18th. And honestly, they need a win. So I can understand them coming out, look, we've been losing for years, please help us. So that's where all this did come from. But yeah, saying that we're in last place would be something to argue. Hey, we really need this. We're going to die without this. So yeah.
I mean, but it's like, Microsoft. Like, there are other ways to innovate. It's hard for me to, like, in an antitrust kind of situation, be like, oh, they need a win. You let them merge the $69 billion merger. I'm like, no. If you don't
More
think
competition, please.
this is going to be another thing that screws over consumers in, like, late capitalist... Anyway.
Well, I'm
No
curious,
politics,
say
but,
that
like,
out
ugh.
I am curious what the courts are gonna, what they're gonna say going into all this. But but that's one of the arguments they made when, hey, please let us do
I
this
would have
thing.
guessed it was somewhere in between 28 and 32% of the market. Like, that is pretty shocking.
At a generous 21%. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
How the mighty have fallen. But anyway,
Didn't have
who
to
else is going with some video game stuff?
So
All right.
I can segue off this one directly because there was a story I was going to do last week and we just didn't get to it, which was fine. But if you've been keeping up with the Whoopi Goldberg and Diablo drama, nobody
Nope.
has. Nobody has. So apparently she plays Diablo, which already I was like,
Cool.
what? Or wanting to, had like prepaid for it. And then when it launched, she figured out she wouldn't be able to play it on her Mac. And eventually a bunch of people were like, okay, but this is how you do it. I'm assuming she wouldn't go the full way to install like Boot Camp, which would allow you to natively boot into Windows. I'm assuming she
Buy a
wasn't.
different computer.
No, there is
Rich.
yeah, but then she'd have to use like a Windows machine and like
And as
who
we
needs
just
it?
said, Microsoft sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
in
yeah,
games, Xbox.
there is a new thing that, let me see if I saw this story from the other week because I did think it was interesting. There is a new way to play a lot of these games that hadn't been there before. Nope.
While you look that up, I'm with Cass, a rich celebrity complaining about, oh, I can't play this on my one machine. Cry me a river.
You gotta get a different computer.
Oh boy, you
Seems
might
like
have
a
to
simple
send your
solution.
assistant to get a computer for you.
Exactly. Like, you don't even have to go to the store.
Yeah, just because
Just go get a cheap Windows laptop so you can play Diablo.
Yeah.
I don't
If-
get,
Or pay somebody to build a computer. Like,
or play it on console.
They have a new thing, a new game porting toolkit for Macs, which I'm interested to see. Somebody had posted on Reddit after the initial story that they were able to get it up on their Mac running Sonoma, I think. So it may be that she just needed a newer Apple. I'm not sure. Anyway, so she didn't want to do...
Apple people can do normal things that I could do any time of the day. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, it's cool. I love it when my Windows computer shuts down and says, we're getting your files ready for you, and we'll let you know when we're ready for you to use your machine that you bought and paid all the good money for. Anyway, my story, my rant.
the Hades, when he's talking to Megara, he's like, do we just forget this one tiny, tiny little detail? I own you.
It's very much that. But anyway, so apparently Whoopi Goldberg can't hire the Geek Squad or something to come work out her issue. She ended up getting a refund, which was her second pitch. She wanted a refund, which is wild to me, for like, and she just like added Blizzard and they finally gave her a refund. I don't know. This whole saga, I can't even tell if it makes me look at her differently because she's already
She's
of like...
already bonkers, isn't she?
She's supposed... I think she's pretty nuts.
She like supported Roman Polanski. She's like maybe
She's
not a
getting
great
old. What do you
gal.
want?
She is maybe up in line to start hosting Wheel of Fortune. I don't know why I have that information.
Nah.
I mean, like, there's part of me that, like, really wants to love her the way I did when I was a kid watching Next Generation.
Yeah.
Like, I was so happy every time she came on.
My favorite episode when she pulled a gun from underneath the counter. Guy had a gun underneath the counter.
That and if you've never seen
Stabs Q in the hand.
If you've never seen the 1998 Cinderella with Brandy as Cinderella,
Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg, Victor Garber have a Filipino child, which Let's not do Punnett squares.
I mean, they were all hot.
They were all hot. Just it's a bag of Skittles.
Bernadette
it's a great movie.
Peters is
Bernadette
the stepmom.
Peters, yeah. It's a great movie. She's in that too.
Oh yeah, like, not gonna lie, that was actually like a decent movie.
It might be my favorite straight up version of Cinderella.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know how crazy she is. I was surprised to find out she's on Diablo. Apparently, Diablo 4 is picking up a bunch of new fans who have just learned that when they put out DLC special events, that you can't play your main, like, character for it. You have to start at level 1 to play their DLC events.
First of all, how dare the game companies release the new Star Wars game, Legend of Zelda, and Diablo in such a short amount of time. Yeah. I am not happy about this at all.
Are you rich enough to play Diablo?
I could play Diablo, I can't. My time needs to go to Legend of Zelda.
Fair. I think it's important to force rank your priorities every now and then.
Thank you.
But yeah, so that's what I've got for that. What's your next video game story?
I have many.
Yeah. Which one's next?
Because you're talking about
the
Direct.
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
So let's go through them. Let's do it.
I wrote down all the games, but we're not going to go over all of them because there's too many and not enough of them have enough information for us to care. TBH. Because there's a lot of just coming soons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to hit the highlights. Of course, we have a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC coming out with it's called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. And you've got the teal mask and the indigo disc, and those are the DLC stories you've got. Both versions get both, yada yada. Don't have a release date right now. If there was one in the Direct, I missed it. I tuned out. I just didn't care. TBH. Myth Force, though, they got my attention with Myth Force. It is a roguelike first-person JRPG, or not JRPG, RPG. Based on 80s cartoons. So if you've ever wanted to just live out your fantasy of being in an 80s fantasy cartoon, this is how you do it. With, quote unquote from their website, power-ups that will make you say, I have the power.
Nice.
Okay, first off, how dare you not send me the artwork for this, that I just have loaded in, because this is pure 80s cartoon Saturday morning popcorn joy right here.
Yep.
How dare you not?
Sorry.
That is
Anyway.
gorgeous.
Grab a bowl of cereal and play this game. It looks like a ton of fun. Next up, this one was the one no one expected. We are getting a 3D remake of the Super Mario RPG. No word if we're gonna get the original on their emulator or not. I really hope so, because that would be really fun to like be able to compare and contrast them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay $100 to play this game.
So many people were happy about this one.
Oh yeah,
It's so pretty.
It looks pretty. It looks like fun. It looks like they're still going to be paying homage to like all the stuff in the original.
Yeah.
With a short Mario. I like that.
Yeah. It's going to be coming out November 17th of this year.
Ooh.
So go pre-order it. You can go pre-order it now.
After the show.
After the show. Or if you have your Switch out, you can
Multiple
just do
screens, yeah.
that. Yeah,
No.
yeah. Oh.
Put your Switch down.
Put it down.
I wasn't playing Legends of.
Nobody
I
was.
believe you.
Next up, we have another JRPG called Silent Hope. Let's see. One day, a terrible calamity struck a peaceful kingdom. In the chaos that followed, the people began to deceive and backstab each other. The king got real tired of that shit real quick and stole everyone's ability to speak. And then noped out of there, leaving his princess daughter alone. She cried, and eventually her tears created a tear-shaped crystal, which she is trapped in. Her cries, many years later, after this has basically become a legend, 7 beams of hope show up in the town, and they are the 7 heroes here to figure out what's going on and how they can save both the princess and the world and figure out all the mysteries. It just sounds like fun. It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You have protagonists that can't speak.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. That will be out October 3rd of this year. We have another Dragon Quest game coming out, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. what I've gathered from it is think Pokemon but Dragon Quest.
Okay.
Which I'm all for. It looks like fun. But also, our main character is Sorrow, which I did some research on because I noticed one of the heroes at the end of the trailer. Mm-hmm. Sorrow is a villain throughout the Dragon Quest series. Like, you fight him constantly in the different games. And this seems to be like his origin for Dragon Quest IV. Because the hero that shows up is the hero from Dragon Quest IV. So you're basically building a villain to fight the hero.
Okay.
Which, like, all for.
Dig it. Dig it.
Dig it. Alright. Only got 2 more. Promise.
No, this is great.
Alright, next, this is the longest one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. We have the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1.
This is gonna be dope.
Now, let me tell you everything that is coming out in this volume. I forgot to write down the release date as well.
I hate when the camera's not on me when she actually hits something.
Yeah,
I like
his eyes are like saucers.
Like, as soon as she said Metal Gear Solid.
So it's going to have the HD remasters of Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Metal Gear, both the NES and the MSX version, Snake's Revenge, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, and bonus content. So we're not done yet. The bonus content includes strategy guides for all the games included, digital graphic novels for Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, screenplays, a master book, and a digital soundtrack.
And did not get an image for this one. She didn't send over an image for this.
I forgot to grab an image for this.
You're burying the lead on the best games
much
on this.
stuff.
Because I missed the direct. I was working, so how dare you, man? Jeez.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a release date at least.
Metal Gear Solid was so
I would play just, yeah.
fundamental to how video games work now. They're just an early example of some of this like post-apocalyptic mood and dramatic tension.
When Psycho Mantis read my memory card and found other Konami games I was playing, like when that happened in game, like for a second I was like, what the?
Alright, we have a launch date, and that is October 24th of this year.
Nice.
We don't have, like, pricing or anything like that, because they just announced
sold.
$900.
It will also be on other consoles, not just the Switch, but keep in mind this is a Nintendo Direct, so we're just kind of focusing on that. Are you okay?
I have a confession.
Yes?
And you can absolve me or you can prosecute me if you want.
Yeah, we're gonna take all your money.
I get Metal Gear Solid confused with Gears of War. And I got very confused. I'm caught up now, but and if I see Halo, then I will occasionally get it mixed up with Metal Gear Solid and Gears of War.
It's all a bunch of like military crap.
It's
and
like the space and you guys.
No!
Also,
Gears of War is
what's Shepard? What's Commander Shepard?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Jason's about to have a heart attack.
I don't play shooters.
So, Cora, tell me more about this Nintendo Direct, because
if
damn.
we're not gonna be prosecuted, we're just gonna replace you.
Alright, there's a Gloomhaven game coming out, but we didn't have a whole lot of information on it, so that Just Dance will have like a subscription service for the songs, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No one here cares about that, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of.
I like dancing.
Star Ocean 2 remake, cool.
Oh, okay.
But none of that matters because we have a new mainline Mario game where you can fucking play as Daisy.
Ooh.
No, none of this matters. This is the only thing that matters. That'll be coming out October 20th of this year. They've got a lot of things coming out in October for some reason. It is a 2D side-scrolling game in the Flower Kingdom.
I did see some images of this. It looks good.
It looks so cute.
I'm so glad side-scrolling is like...
The new mechanic are wonder flowers, and whenever you use them, weird stuff happens. Pipes turn into like little worms and snakes so they can move around on the map. You can grow, like your hat will grow really big. Mario has a new form, which is Elephant Mario.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect, but I'm not hating on it. I love it. There's little sassy flowers in the background. Love it.
Love it.
And I found this out, like, tangentially when I was pulling up stuff for this story. Apparently, they've been to the Flower Kingdom before in, like, this obscure Mario movie they did a long time ago. and the prince of the, like, they had to save the prince of the Flower Kingdom. He'd been turned into, like, this little wiggler dog thing.
Sure.
Yeah, the little worm guy, but a dog. And when they saved him, he mentions, "Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm Princess Peach's fiance." Oh. And Mario is just laying on the ground crying. Oh. So everyone is out to make him a villain. I'm like, I don't know, that just Mario doesn't get a...
Prince of the Flower Kingdom makes me think they were just like, she needed to marry somebody and he needed to keep his reputation intact. Like,
it's like isn't that the name of the new healer from Overwatch? The Prince of the Flower Kingdom.
I mean, he
would make a better prince.
He's the queerest in a good way.
Yeah.
But the queerest, floatiest, like, beautiful anime prince I've ever seen.
I mean, all of his tags are anime, and I love it.
Yeah.
Jason, I'm going to send you a picture of Prince Haru. Apparently his name is Haru.
Oh, jeez.
So I feel offended a little bit.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Miyazaki.
Wow. I stand by my first assertion as to what's happening there.
I gotta throw this in here.
Sad to know that the Flower Kingdom
allies.
is not more open-minded.
Ally.
Exactly.
It's just our political climate that's like,
he's got a
it's a
dude
bummer
that
they
he
have
bought
to do
a
that.
house somewhere, like...
There it is.
He's got a personal bodyguard that is very close to him.
It's unfortunate that the Flower Kingdom isn't more progressive.
Yeah.
He looks like the human version of that banana character from Adventure Time. Like, I'm expecting him to just yell, "Unacceptable!"
That's a lemon, not a banana.
Whatever he's yelling.
His name is Lemon Grab.
Lemon Grab, whatever.
I just need him to scream "Love is love" all the time, because you can adopt.
Yes, you can.
It's fine.
Something about beards. Anyway.
Someone had also pointed, like, the theory also came from the fact that Luigi on the poster has, like, a wiggler with a crown, like, attached to his back, like, holding on to him. So someone was like, oh no, he's here. We're playing out this movie, aren't we?
Yep.
This is all very, very weird.
It's very
getting
weird.
weirder.
Anyway. I am excited, though. The game does look really fun. I love the trailer had the great moment of a little flower saying, that Goomba looks so serene, and Mario just comes up and kicks it, and he's like, okay then.
He's like, you know what's serene? The afterlife. Out of here.
And that's all. There was some other stuff from the Direct, but none of it anyone cares about, because you don't get to play as Daisy, so who cares?
A lot of good stuff. They do it in October for two reasons. Q1 profits and Christmas gifts. Big month for video games. I have one more video game story. It's been a while since this name has come out of my mouth. XQC.
Been a
former Twitch celebrity.
Former
rude Canadian.
Former Dallas Fuel member.
Former member of Dallas Fuel. Sort of. He was a little iffy
Briefly.
at best. He was a good Winston. Anyway.
He was a good Winston. In that meta.
Yeah. We had a lot of meta. He just
literally labeled this picture blonde guy.
XQC. He is a very popular streamer. He was signed like a couple weeks ago to Kick. Kick is a new streaming platform founded exactly to counter Twitch. They gave XQC a $70 million 2-year contract with up to $30 million extra in performance bonuses. And one of the bigger deals we've seen for streamers recently, like, those are Ninja numbers.
Didn't Ninja sign with a different?
Yeah, that folded.
Pokemon signed with somebody too.
I think Pokemon may have just also they've taken a few large names.
Yeah.
And a few others, nobody as big as him. He's only been on there a few days, I think. Kick does offer some really cool things. They're only taking 5% of creator revenue.
Oh.
This is... Hang on, I have to sneeze.
Got that
Sorry.
Ew.
Mind your business. So this is compared to YouTube, who takes a whopping 30%, and Twitch, who takes 30 to 50%, depending on different things. And so, yeah, so XQC gladly signed with them. I don't know if Kick's glad about what's happening since then, though. He's already gotten in pretty serious trouble twice. The first time he streamed himself watching The Dark Knight, which of course is a violation of digital copyright rules. Yeah, and so they messaged him about it, and he did immediately stop streaming that. And then a few days later, he's streaming himself live watching Breaking Bad with Breaking Bad on the screen, and they're just not that happy about it. XQC, you've never been able to tell XQC what to do. And that's what his fans love about him. I'm not a big XQC fan, by the way. But I'm like, what are you trying to do right now?
This isn't like our streamer rules say that you're not supposed to wear a tank top. This is copyright law.
Yeah.
This is American copyright law.
Well, and that's always been the thing with him.
Twitter.
And why I'm not a big fan of him is that, like, he doesn't seem to understand, like, where lines are. And, like, I understand people breaking rules for their audience, but he doesn't seem to understand where any lines are, whether they're letting your teammates down in an esport or offending a community of marginalized people, or, you know, just whatever. He's going to do whatever he wants. And I would not want to be his publicist, because at this point it's made him all the money.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't do that.
Just that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior.
Yeah, and it's like nobody knows what's happening. It's unlikely that he's trying to get, like, suspended.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's stuff in his contract about that. But anyway, so yeah, so Kick's probably not going to bring on Dr. Disrespect if this is the treatment they're already getting. But yeah, shout out to Kick, hopefully treating streamers better.
Remind me, what's Dr. Disrespect's brand?
It's being a gentleman that you would bring to your parents.
That's what I thought.
It's definitely not doxing himself, putting aside a danger, going to the bathroom and filming in there.
Oopsie.
What? Sorry.
I do gotta say, my only about the streaming platform is that it's named after, or that it has it shares a name with a, like, hookup app, essentially.
Does it?
Does it?
Kick is a messaging app that you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kick.
K-I-K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I was about to say, do we need to talk about your personal life?
no. I think about Kick. There
Yeah,
are
Kick was one of those, like,
Oh, fair enough.
it was international. It was like a prior WeChat almost.
Yeah,
Like,
it was supposed to basically be like a cool, kind of like a chat thing for minors. Like, it was supposed to be like this fun thing, and then adults got it and wrote it.
That's usually how
well,
it goes.
and even there had some use in, like, businesses because it was encrypted before a lot of them were.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next. Maybe XQC can find a new audience on Kick if it doesn't work out with Kick. Anything else in video games?
Nope.
Moving on, what else do we have? TV? Do you
Got
have any
some
TV
TV?
and movies, yeah.
I got a movie. I got two movies. So I got...
Jason, start your first one.
Yay! Okay. So, all the haters out there, sorry, Daisy Ridley's coming back. Hey Daisy, how you doing, girl? A new trilogy of Star Wars movies are set to come out. Set 15 years after the events of the last Star Wars movie, with Daisy Ridley establishing a new Jedi Order, which is the proposed title of what the series is supposed to be. Now, does that sound familiar to y'all? Absolutely, because this was the now legacy material that LucasArts has moved away from. Hold on, I have pictures. I just keep forgetting my damn pictures. A book series, The New Jedi Order, was basically hold on.
Every producer in this show talks through what they're
trying
doing,
to
and I
show
love it.
off my image here. So yes, it was a series of books, Star Wars: The New Jedi Order, of Luke and Mara Jade
read
starting
those.
a new.
Yeah.
Yes, I've read all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Starting a new Jedi Order. It was with 3 of Solo's kids. Yes, Han Solo had 3 kids in the series, and it's now legacy material and not expanded universe, which was great stuff. I am excited for this though because I know everyone. There were a lot of opinions about Rey. I like Rey. Maybe it's because I like Daisy Ridley. But I do like Star Wars. So it's kind of like encompassing all the things that I love. But now I'm getting this book series that was an integral part of my childhood. I would go to the library and find these books and read them at the library. Usually, I was able to read a novel in like one sitting of a day.
Yeah, they're like 150 pages
they weren't that bad.
ish with like bigger time.
Borderline novella. Yeah.
And it's good to see this material being brought back because it was very interesting how Luke was changing the Jedi Order and wanting to do things a little bit differently. I'm excited for this. This is good material to pull something from. And all the people that are like, oh, they're shitting on, the history. But
whatever.
This is them acknowledging that and actually trying to adapt some of that stuff to new tales, which is what I want in Star Wars. Now, we don't have a date for any of this. This is all preliminary. We did get Star Wars Celebration not too long ago, and they did announce that Daisy would be returning to the role as Rey Skywalker. Let me say it again, in case for y'all in the back. Rey Skywalker would be establishing New Jedi Order. Go ahead and just make everybody able to get a wife, husband, significant other, whatever they want. Might make for better Jedi. I'm hoping that happens with this new Jedi Order.
I don't know if it will make for a better Jedi. One thing that is guaranteed is that it will make for more Jedi.
Let's face
That's how
it.
they make new Jedi.
Yeah.
One of the ways.
So yeah, I am excited for this. The only thing I'm hoping is at some point they can get maybe John Boyega to come back to the series. I know.
Fairly recently.
I know, but Force sensitive, and also him and Daisy were really good friends.
They were great.
Before you idiots chased her off Instagram, the stories they were posting were very pure, and I loved seeing them and Oscar Isaac all together.
You'd have to get some pretty serious stuff for John Boyega to come back.
Okay,
Disney did him dirty.
Open the pocketbooks and get him back in.
That's not pocketbooks isn't going to do it for John.
It's
Look, I would deliver the apology
I got a
to John
storyline here.
Boyega. He'd be like, "Who are you, sir? I'm here to issue a heartfelt apology on behalf of Disney."
on behalf of
I
everybody.
apologize.
Yeah.
But you had nothing to do with it. Yeah, but I want you back in the series, so I'm willing to do this.
I mean, they will have to convince him that they made a big enough turn to not stay so hard in just the very story that they think they want to tell, even if they're wrong about it.
And they're going
makes
to have
me
to convince him that they're not just using him to do a check mark and then shove him to the back of their story, which is exactly
New
what happened.
Order is the perfect opportunity
Thank you.
for them to bring in a lot of different faces. They're all they're so fun. They're all angsty and young, and they have all these hormones and all these fights, and they got to explore lore and a bunch of different races and planets and stuff. It's kind of a playground for a new adventure saga.
And admittedly, with the last series, I did feel as though that was a little bit of a missed opportunity with, having read the New Jedi Order books and what Luke was trying to do, and everything just kind of going to crap with Ben going to the dark side and everything.
Whoopsie.
Exactly. We kind of just really skipped over all the work that Luke did, and I wanted to see that. So this is my opportunity to see that it may not be the Skywalker that I'm used to, but it's still a Skywalker. I'll take it. I love me some Star Wars.
I love me some Daisy Ridley.
And
Campbell.
the other thing is it makes me happy that Disney is staying the course on this.
Yeah.
I know that it's very divisive. People have strong opinions. I am rose-colored glasses. This is Star Wars. The Star Wars.
I'm hoping they've learned some stuff from Andor. I don't think they had a ton of faith in Andor, honestly, and then Andor was incredible, and
Got some
people loved it.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
And I do have high hopes for Ahsoka, which is right along. We have Skeleton Crew, which is going to come out before that as well. But yeah, this is the next big Star Wars movie. Please give me more, and the figure shelf needs to be expanded.
Speaking of new things, with Harrison Ford was in the old thing,
Yeah.
and you have a story?
Yeah, it's kind of a perspective shift, if you will. So, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is coming out in 8 days, on June 30th. And you may not be getting what you think you're getting. Some context. This movie is directed by James Mangold, who directed Logan. You may not be getting an Indiana Jones, look at him on a horse punching Nazis. You may be getting a movie about aging and how the world changes and how you need to pass down what you know to people younger than you and how it's important how you lived your life. And Harrison
but without
Ford,
just being a straight, like, moral line, like,
not
this is
being
the
a straight
lesson.
moral line. This being an in-depth character analysis about somebody who spent their entire life running around doing things and what that looks like closer to the end. It may be very different than you're expecting. It's been getting a lot of really negative reviews because I think what happened is people went expecting Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And you're not going to get that. This is more complicated than that. I will say part of the thing that makes me a little bit interested is they're bringing Karen Allen back as Marion, who was his love interest in the first movie.
She's too old.
She
was in Crystal Skull.
She's age appropriate, though, and that's why.
So
like,
they may
weird.
be trying to say, look at this man's life from start to finish. What does this look like? It also stars Phoebe Waller-Bridge, absolute queen of this is more complicated than you think it's going to be. Mads Mikkelsen as German and
who cares? He's in it.
Netherlands is probably the same thing. It has Antonio Banderas and John Rhys Davies coming back for his role. Yeah, just you might not want to go to the theater trying to see just an Indiana Jones movie. It might be more complicated than
If you bring tissues, they might be for your eyes.
I forgot James Mangold's directing this. And to that I say, you stay away from Indiana.
Yeah.
You stay away from Indiana Jones.
It's this conversation that we kind of keep having to have because, Force Awakens was a rehash, top to bottom. I didn't necessarily mind that. And Last Jedi, I don't think it did it very well, but it was trying to do something different. And if we're going to keep rehashing stuff from the 80s, we're going to have to update it a little bit. And that seems to be what they're trying to do here. I have not seen it yet, but when I do see it, I'm going to kind of change what I'm expecting. This isn't just a, shoot 'em up, punch 'em up Nazis movie. This is maybe different.
I'm a huge fan of Indiana. I rewatched all of them on Disney Plus, of course. And I think as someone that watched all of them, grew up with them,
yeah,
I am ready for an ending.
Apparently, this is exactly what that is. Yeah.
But I'm ready for an ending. We can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg said it's the best one.
Yeah.
I did like that he made a comment like, hey, I thought I was the only person that can make these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, while I am a huge Indiana Jones fan, y'all have seen me operate a whip.
Yeah.
There was a reason I learned how to do that as a kid because my hero on screen learned how to do it. Okay, I can do this. Even though he didn't use that much in the film. I thought it was the coolest thing. But
everybody thought it was the coolest thing.
I think I am ready for an ending. So...
I think that's what you're getting.
I think that's the interesting thing that about Steven Spielberg saying that. I don't think what he actually meant was I was the only one who could do these. I think he was saying you and I understand the same things about who he is.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what would tie it all together.
Yeah. Weird other thing. James Mangold also directed Identity. I know. If you've never seen Identity, it is one of the weirdest horror movies I've ever seen, but it's so good, and it's by far the best movie I've ever seen John Cusack in.
That was one of those that you're like, I don't know about this premise, and I was like, watch it!
It's so good.
I love it.
It's so good. It's very
here we go, man.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my thing. That's my little soapbox.
Do you have more stuff? Okay.
No,
you have another movie.
I have another movie.
Go for it.
It's a quick one. Y'all are going to be disappointed. So last week I went to go see the Flash movie. I have children. They wanted to see it. I admit I wanted to see Keaton.
Wow.
I wanted to see Sasha Callie. Sorry. And overall, this is a movie I saw, and I don't need to see it again. One of the things that everyone was bringing up were the special effects. To which the director made a lame ass excuse about, oh, well, this is how the Flash perceives everything, and we should bullshit. A VFX artist came out recently and said, do you know why the effects of this movie look like utter garbage? Because it was done over the span of a week. 1 week, 7 days. Do the math, 7 times 24. The reason I'm saying that effects studios have to turn out products so quickly is because if they don't, they have deadlines they are given by the studios, and if they don't come up with this product by the end of this time, they risk losing another movie. But The Flash was a multi-million-dollar movie. It took months to film, put together, but you're going to give VFX artists 1 effing week to do this? Absolutely not. And I am so glad that somebody's out there. I mean, oh my. The special effects in this movie pissed me off. That the first time it came, literally like seconds into the movie, I was wondering, why are the special effects so bad? Like, utterly bad. Also, Ezra Miller's performance borders on, hey, that's okay, to get him off the fucking screen. I am annoyed by this man's presence. Sasha Calle's Supergirl needs to be salvaged. She just needs more character development. But and Cora and I have had multiple discussions about his depiction of Barry Allen, who doesn't seem capable of doing anything. But back to the VFX. The VFX in this movie, if you couldn't tell from some of the comments on the trailers, are horrible. There's Uncanny Valley, and then there's this Valley of Jagged Glass. I don't know what this was. I'm like, am I watching a $1 billion movie, or am I watching something that someone produced in their garage? It's bad.
So it was Morbin time?
Oh, no! Not even as bad. Look, for all the crap that they gave... let me switch over to for all the crap they gave Ant-Man and Quantumania about their VFX and Thor, Love and Thunder, screw you all. This looks like friggin' Avatar. Which I hate Avatar, but it looks gorgeous.
It's very pretty.
This made Thor, Love and Thunder look like Avatar.
Ooh.
So, a couple of quotes. The amount of work per shot varies dramatically. So one shot can have wire removal, another shot can have wire removal, smoke simulation, fire sim, face replacement, green screen. Despite the differences in workload between these shots, they are both considered just one shot each. Because of this, VFX artists are forced to work relentless hours, overtime every day, including weekends. We can't keep up with the unrealistic expectations of the work because we will risk losing out on future contracts. So,
it's in 2 parts as well.
Also, the VFX artist in question is a TikToker by the name of @no_the robot, and he worked on Flash.
It comes in 2 parts. There's a phrase that is extraordinarily famous in the film industry. That's "get it in camera." And there are a lot of shots in these movies that require VFX. That's just how it's going to be. There's a lot that don't. There's a lot of things that if you took time, you can get it. We've talked about forced perspective. We've talked about a lot of this kind of stuff. There's a lot of these shots in these movies that require that, but like Marvel not deciding how suits are supposed to look until after they've shot it. Stuff like that. And so this comes in 2 parts. 1, get your together and shoot it right.
Well, you know,
and
this
2,
had to be reshoots. It's the DC brand.
That's true. But just, yeah.
But on that same note, I saw Transformers twice. But
Wow.
the trailers for Transformers look like unfinished VFX.
I mean,
people were
sometimes that
complaining about
happens.
it, but the finished VFX for the movie looked good. Cleared up all the. I think they cleared it up before the next trailer came out, actually. So at least you're giving those people enough time. And granted, it looked like a good. Actually, the Transformers was really good. Like now with character development.
Transformers.
Character
No.
development in my Transformers.
But also, it's
Like,
okay to
thing.
release a trailer that has VFX that maybe might be unfinished. They were running showings of the Flash and saying there are things unfinished in here, guys. So don't judge them. But then those things look the same on the finished product. So I don't. It's terrible. Like I almost want y'all to go see it just to see how bad this is.
It'll come out on Max in 8 months.
Anyway, so
I mean,
that's
I have to take a minute and talk about that because this is my job. Editing, post-production is where I spend most of my professional life. There's an increasing thing in editing that they don't, from the top to the bottom of the industry, they don't treat time like it's a real thing in post. They don't. There's an expectation to be on call constantly. I work with her as a producer. I have yelled to her, not at her, about this. Like, you're just supposed to be on call to do anything. Like, and you don't post things that you think look good for review. You post things because you've lost the perspective to see what a new viewer will look at. And so that's what the feedback process is for. You can't do it on no sleep. You just can't. I can do everything on no sleep, and I can't edit past a certain point on no sleep.
Also, it's clear to me that there is not a feedback process. This is a first draft.
Oh, and I missed this completely, but they basically have the VFX studios. They have to bid for these projects, and that's what's hurting.
Yeah.
Because if you don't lowball, and if you don't provide, hey, well, we can do it in a week, well, we can do it in 3 days. That's where these guys are losing out. I'm sorry, time done quick, getting it done quickly is not getting it done the best way. Literally.
My favorite phrase.
Exactly.
9 women can't make a baby in a month.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
need time.
And they are. That's another thing that's happening is they're turning around and subcontracting.
Yeah.
Like they have to be VFX studios, and then you don't wind up with cohesive. Anyway, I have lots more that I could rant about this, but that's not acceptable.
The quote directly: "The way VFX companies get work is that Marvel and Warner Brothers and other studios will approach VFX companies, say, I have 2,000 shots I need for this sequence. The VFX studios will then place the bid based on the quantity of shots, but the amount of work varies. Yes, see, there you go. It is a dog-eat-dog world right now.
That
in
I
the
did not.
VFX
That I
industries.
did not
They're
know that was
working
the way the bidding process.
They're
was.
working like gig workers.
Crazy
basically.
idea.
I didn't know it was based on the number.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable, and honestly, as it's not sustainable.
nope.
See, it's the
Gonna have
reason
to
is
be
this
a
weird
union.
tax reason. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's number
Fuck your
shot.
taxes. Sorry, I've used too many F-bombs
Anyway,
this show.
yeah, like we're not getting any money. You don't have to worry about the
Flash
copyright
was like
strikes.
my limit because I have just seen like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was good, Spider-Verse, which was great, Transformers, which was great, and then I watched Flash.
To go from Spider-Verse that celebrated all of those artists that worked on it to the Flash
hired-
that
Just-
shit on them.
Hired
Just
the
beautiful.
kid that did the
Yeah.
trailer in Lego just so he could do the Lego sequence because they're so passionate about how they're.
My
They were
eyes
so
were not
impressed with
big
him
enough
that they're like, we
to
need
appreciate
you
Spider-Verse.
now. Let's go.
Which also another movie I've seen twice. Which also a funny story about that. The lady that was the voice of Miles' mother is also the mother figure in Transformers. So I'm just happy she's in the yes, the same actress plays Miles' mother and Noah Diaz's mother in Transformers.
She's the captain in Dexter, I think.
Yeah,
That's
I just
great.
appreciate that she's in the 2 highest grossing movies that weekend,
Love that for her.
playing the hero's mom.
that for her.
Awesome.
So, to close it out, if your eyes are bleeding and crying and stuff from all this garbage and you need kind of a palate cleanser, head on over, except don't really, to Reddit, who has been undergoing massive protests for trying to shut down third-party APIs or charge for them, making them basically they've stepped back on a couple of things they were going to do that would make them blatantly inaccessible to like blind people and stuff like that. But there's been raging protests on Reddit. I'm a pretty active Redditor, and so that's kind of everywhere. But one of my favorite things that has happened recently is Reddit has exploded with content that involves sexy pictures of John Oliver.
Yeah.
So, if you're not familiar with him, John Oliver is a comedian. He does the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He was on Community forever ago. He does stand-up, blah, 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 blah. He is not a conventionally sexy person.
No, it's not.
On the contrary.
Very good.
Yes, but a lot of subreddits with things like, as the biggest one I know of is our pics. It's like 11 million people on that subreddit or something. They had their users vote, do you want us to black out and protest like everybody else is doing? Do you want us to do this? Should we continue as normal? Or should our pics site only be for sexy pictures of John Oliver? And overwhelmingly voted for the sexy pictures of John Oliver.
That sounds about like Reddit.
It's incredible content, and then it started spreading to other subreddits. I'm on a number of D&D subreddits. There's one that is now devoted to how to integrate John Oliver into your game as a stat block, whether he's OP or underpowered, or whether his bard spells make sense, and what he was designed to do, and how to have your party survive a fight with John Oliver, how to make their last words funny when he TBKs them, arguments about what his stamina looks like. It's incredible. It's incredible content.
I think my favorite part of this, because we were talking about this a little bit last night, like my roommates and I were. And, like, this is the way that Reddit has decided to protest capitalism, essentially. Because the website is not run by people with money. It's run by people...
Free moderators.
And that's why they shut down all the Reddits. But then they're like, oh, if we don't have some open, then we lose the chance to have access to them forever. And that was why Pix was one of the ones that got, like...
John Oliver.
That, like, got picked up. And, the people that bought Reddit are not happy right now because of this, and they're just like, we don't care.
They're trying to pull on Elon Musk and just shut it down. We don't care if you hate it, and they might actually win, which does suck.
You know who they just need to take a lesson from, and it feels really weird to say this? Tumblr. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tumblr somehow is still running, for one, but also the people that own Tumblr have realized when they try to introduce things to make people pay for the content, it explodes and it's bad. But if they leave it alone, people will pay money. Because they have, like, stupid little things you can buy, like the little check mark. Like, they did a thing with check marks at one point.
But it worked out better because it was very specifically not... anything.
Yeah,
it was making fun of Twitter.
And that's why you could get as many as you wanted.
You could get like 20, and it did not grant you any kind of status.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, and it's like $5.
Yeah.
Just a one-time $5, sure. And then, like, you can also buy ads on Tumblr, and you can just make the most unhinged posts because they don't care. Like, and that's how Tumblr has, like, stayed. They re-enabled people to post, like, NSFW content because that was something that people wanted, and they just leave it alone.
Like, Tumblr is a chaos goblin and should remain that way. And to close out a little bit, speaking of chaos goblins, the other thing I have to tell you about that is happening that I couldn't put media of is one of my other favorite subs, D&D memes. They voted to make all of their content in SFW goblins. Like,
love it.
Just non-stop. Like, people are thirsty for goblins in the weirdest way. Yeah. So that's our show, everybody.
Yeah.
Ending on a weird...
Chaos Goblin.
It's not weird at all. You guys are going to fight in SFW goblins.
Oh, big kitty goblins.
Yeah. I have to, like, green stuff a bunch of naked.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is our show. Make sure to check us out on supercoolnerdshow.com. check us out this weekend. We're going to Dungeon and or Dragon and or Kraken and or Airship and or Ocean Ship and or...
Go back to that last part.
Ocean Ship? Whatever, weirdo. Anyway, all sorts of stuff happening. Who knows? I know most of it. Also, check us out on all our channels: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the whole nine. But if you want to check us out individually, Cora,
you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at CoraDonoArt.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BetterCat.
Same at The Good Cass.
Twitter and Instagram at JasonEX.
And keep your eyes open for some cool stuff regarding like Latino Comic-Con stuff coming soon. Some more videos from our last con. All sorts of content coming your way. Everybody be nice to each other this week and kind and forgiving. A lot going on in the world right now. And as we always say around here, keep on nerding.